Welcome back to I've Got Something to Tell You with Tayler and
Colleen.
Episode 27. Dang. Okay, I can be excited about that this time. That's kind of a lot.
It is.
I'm excited. Yeah.
I am too. Sorry, my enthusiasm wasn't coming.
You're like, and?
We talk about the episode number every week.
It's also kind of late and it's on a weekday.
That is true. Yeah.
Not all there. Okay. So I didn't do my homework. I know you did. Can you give us the Annabelle update that you've been like texting me about?
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, way to put me on the spot.
Sorry. I feel like you know the base.
Yeah.
The base.
Well, so the museum was bought by Matt Rife, who's this like comedian, and I only know him from his Netflix special. I know people like were like all about him on TikTok and stuff, but his Netflix special was like
not good.
Yeah, I'm not one to like turn something off mostly, and I think I got like 5 minutes in. I was like, I can't. It was
well, there's nothing like bad stand-up comedy though.
Yeah. And it was just like, it just wasn't funny. Like it was just mean.
Oh, ew.
You know?
I don't like that.
And like, I love like Anthony Jeselnik, who I think is also like probably in the realm of like, has some problematic jokes, but I think he like owns it at the same time. But like Matt Rife is just kind of, I don't know, he just grosses me out. And so he bought the museum and the house that Annabelle is hosted at.
Yeah, and after I read that, the last one you sent me, The Son of Ed and Lorraine Warren, when I was reading it, I didn't realize that he had bought the house too, but I guess the museum's in the house is what I read, but I'm still a little confused about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't know. Do you know?
Well, I think we just get down to the brass tacks of it is that like he now owns the rights to Annabelle and he's basically turning it into like, and he said this on the Instagram post, is like turning it into a tourist attraction, right?
Yeah.
Which is just like sad.
And letting people investigate the objects in there, which is actually really dangerous, like whether you believe it in or not. But like in the clip that I had in the Annabelle episode, Lorraine Warren's literally saying, don't touch anything. And if you do, let me know. And like, she's serious about it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that was literally their job. So I think they know what they're talking about. So
yeah. And I think just like whether or not you believe in it or not or whatever, like this is something that family was like so passionate about. And the Instagram thing that I sent you today about the son, like he posted just like how sad he is. Like there was a lot of respect that went into like maintaining all of the like items within the museum. And like he had concerns about like taking Annabelle on tour and like that these are things that shouldn't be dealt with without the proper care. Yeah. And I think that's just in general where the community that like follows that and has a lot of respect for those items is coming from, is just like this shouldn't be turned into a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Like, again, like there was a lot of respect and a lot of care that went into taking care of them for so long. And it's just sad that like somebody just went and basically bought it out.
Yeah. Like, let me make some money off this.
Yeah.
And I feel like they closed it down for a reason too. Like they did have it open for people and then they closed it down. So it's just like, why would you open it back up?
Yeah.
But also the other thing that I read like on his post was like, I think he was like saying how like that was like his childhood home too. And now it's being turned into like people could just go right through it. So I think that was like
it's a little bit of a stab in the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Don't like that.
Don't like it. I just think like, again, there's so much history there that regardless of, again, if you believe in it or not, like there should be some respect and
boundaries and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see what happens.
Well, way to start off on a solemn note.
We're all like, let's cry now.
Yeah. Well, tears for Annabelle.
I mean, tears for Annabelle. I mean, Annabelle, we'll see what happens.
I don't
Wait,
feel
what's
like
his
she's
name
a bit
again? the comedian?
Matt Rife.
We'll see what happens to Matt Rife.
Yeah.
Annabelle might have some things
She's not
in
one
store for him.
I know. Honestly, I kind of want to see what happens now.
Yeah, me too. Because she will get the job done if she wants to.
Let the wrath rain down.
Exactly. Well, I know, okay, solemn note, but my story is pretty light, as I told you.
So, wait, do we want to talk about the present?
Yeah. Oh my God. Sorry. Like I said, late night.
It's okay.
Colleen. Oh, you can explain.
Well, Tayler and I are cup queens. We
have so many cups.
So many, we are those girls that have the big cups.
We are that meme where it's like a gigantic jug knocking shit over.
It literally makes me feel so tiny small and
look at my big cup.
Oh my God. Let me
so
flex
small.
my bicep as I have to pick it up. But
I drink so much water.
I'm extra hydrated. But so I got us, and they turned out really good. I just got them off of Amazon, but
they're adorable.
I've got something to tell you tumblers now, and they have our regular podcast logo on the front. We're holding them up you can find it on IGSTTY pod on TikTok, Instagram.
If you want to get a visual, and we'll make a post too.
Yeah, and then the back has IGSTTY with little bats flying around it.
It's so cute and on brand.
Yeah, so they're fun. And
I love them.
Tayler always gets me gifts, so I was hoping to get her something nice.
Your gift outranked all of them.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
He literally got us engagement rings. What are you talking about?
I feel like it goes with it because it's a bat ring and there's bats on there. Oh my God, it's so cute. I love it.
I know. I'm never going to drink from anything else again.
Me neither. And we had just bought new Stanleys and mine's still in the wrapping.
I know.
I'm probably not going to use it, to be honest. I think I'm going to give it to my mom.
Yeah.
In your cupboard. Yeah. I'll get to you later.
This one takes priority.
It was funny too. When she brought it over, it was still in the box. The unboxing took 10 minutes.
It was.
I was so excited, but then it was taking
so long. I appreciate the care that they sent it with, but it did take a while. I was stabbing it with the scissors.
But yeah, it is amazing quality.
Yeah, Amazon, man. You really can find everything there.
Shout out Amazon.
Sponsor us.
Yeah, please. That'd be so cool.
Okay, sorry. Get to your story.
Okay, so my story is short and sweet, but it's a good one. So I'm going to tell the story of the Rendlesham Forest incident, also known as Britain's Roswell.
I've never heard this.
Me neither.
Oh, cool.
I just randomly found the story and I was like, I'm going to do it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. So it was just after Christmas in 1980 when a chilling mystery unfolded in the quiet darkness of Rendlesham Forest, Suffolk. I probably said that wrong, but it's in England. It's a dense stretch of English woodland nestled between two military bases leased to the United States Air Force, RAF Bentwaters and RAF Woodridge. And it's RAF. I don't know if they say RAF or RAF. I'm going to say RAF.
Is it
RAF?
I have no idea. Is it a abbreviation of something?
It might be. I mean, it probably is.
Who cares?
Yeah, I didn't do my research there.
We're here for the aliens.
Yeah. So, in the early hours of December 26, around 3 a.m., airmen on duty at RAF Woodbridge spotted unusual lights descending into the nearby forest. At first, they thought it might be a downed aircraft. The Cold War was still simmering, and anything falling from the sky was taken seriously. Two servicemen, Staff Sergeant Jim Peniston and Airman John Burrows, were dispatched to investigate. As they entered the frost-covered forest, the silence was unsettling, they said. It wasn't just quiet, it was too quiet, almost as the woodland was holding its breath.
Oh.
Creepy. And then they saw it. Hovering in a small clearing was a metallic, triangular craft, roughly 2 to 3 meters across and 2 meters high. The air around it felt electrically charged. It pulsed with multicolored lights, blue, red, and white. Patriotic. Just kidding. I just thought of that right now. Illuminating the trees.
England, so
I know. I was like, wait, that actually doesn't make sense. Take that out, Norman.
Well, no, they're still blue, red, and white, are they not?
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, and it's also a U.S. military base, so.
Keep it in, Norman.
Okay.
You kept in that I thought Stephen King was dead, so you can.
That made the episode, okay?
Never mind.
Oh, I know where you're getting at. We'll get to that. If you want.
Okay.
So, illuminating the trees around it, like the lights illuminated the trees around it, and it didn't make a sound. Almost like a Tesla. That's what I think of when they say UFOs, like that weird, like, almost like, yeah. I imagine that's what they sound like. So, Peniston later claimed he approached the craft and even touched it. The surface was smooth and warm, and etched along the side were strange glyph-like symbols, which he said resembled Egyptian hieroglyphs. Is it hieroglyphs or hieroglyphs?
Hieroglyph.
Okay, hieroglyphs. When he placed his hand on it, he experienced a sudden download of binary code, a stream of ones and zeros flooding into his mind, which he later wrote down in a notebook. And more on that later. Then in the blink of an eye, were you going to say something? Okay, you looked like you were going to say something.
I had a thought go through my head, and one of the things...
Is it binary code?
Yeah. Hold on, let me write it down.
You just had a download?
No, isn't it that the thing that they say is like if... Maybe it was just a movie that I watched that isn't really like based in fact, but if we were going to like talk to aliens, the universal like language would be in like binary code or math. Is that a real thing?
I didn't hear like the binary code or math, but I've heard like telepathically, like between like consciousness is like how they communicate. Because I've heard I've read that like some aliens are in like physical form and some are like, I don't know if they described it as like energetic or
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little weird and it's a little out there, but on our alien episode, I feel like we could definitely get into that.
Okay.
Yeah. Then in the blink of an eye, the craft rose silently into the air and disappeared into the night. By morning, the forest showed strange signs of the night before. Investigators found 3 depressions in the frozen soil arranged in a perfect triangle, burn marks and broken branches on nearby trees, and I'm probably going to butcher how to say this, but a Geiger counter used by the base's disaster preparedness team detected elevated radiation levels, especially at the landing site and on the trees where the object had hovered.
I have a Geiger counter. I think that's how you. I think that is how you pronounce it.
Oh, it is. Okay.
I'll share it in our short stories episode.
Wait, you have one?
I have a story about one.
Oh, I was like, you have one?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So, despite the physical evidence, no public statement was made. The base's official stance was silence. 2 nights later, the mystery deepened. Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt, deputy base commander at Bentwaters, wasn't convinced by the explanations floating around. He decided to personally investigate, bringing a team of airmen and a cassette recorder to document the night's events in real time. The resulting Halt tape is now one of the most compelling pieces of audio evidence in UFO history. On the tape, Halt's voice is calm but increasingly unsettled, saying, We're seeing strange lights in the forest. It's coming this way. It looks like an eye winking at you." And I'm going to play you the recording.
Broken pine branches underground underneath. Looks like some of them came off about 15 to 20 feet up. Some small branches about an inch or less in diameter. Zero 148, we're hearing very strange sounds out of the farmer's barnyard animals. It's very, very active, making an awful lot of noise.
Yes, in a pigmentation.
You just saw a light where? Wait, no, slow down. Where?
Right in this position here, straight ahead, in between the tree. There it is again. Watch, straight ahead off my flashlight there. So there it is.
Hey, I see it too. What is it?
We don't know, sir.
So can I get some of it? Yeah, it's a strange, small red light. Looks to be maybe a quarter to half mile, maybe further out. I'm going to switch off. The light is gone now. It was approximately 120 degrees from the site. Is it back again?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's the flashlight set. Let's move out to the edge of the clearing so we can get a better look at it. See if you can get the star scope on it. The light's still there, and all the barnyard animals have gotten quiet now. There's no doubt about it. There's some type of strange flashing red light ahead. It's yellow. I saw a yellow tinge in it, too. Weird. It appears to be maybe moving a little bit this way. It's brighter than it has been.
Yellow.
It's coming this way. It is definitely coming this way. Pieces of it are shooting off. There is no doubt about it. This is weird.
To the left.
Yeah, definitely moving to the left.
Two lights. One light to the front,
Okay.
one light to the left.
Keep the flashlights off. There's something very, very strange. Keep the headset on. See if it gets any stronger. Okay. Give us a rundown.
Notation that this is on the beta reading, too.
It's on the beta reading?
Beta
Okay.
shield has been removed.
Okay. Guesses we're falling off it again.
But it just moved to the right.
Yeah.
Right to the right.
Strange. Oh, we're running in the left. Let's approach to the edge of the woods up there. You want to do it without lights? Let's do it carefully. Come on. Okay, we're looking at the thing. We're probably about 200 to 300 yards away. It looks like an eye winking at you. It's still moving from side to side. And when you put the star scope on it, it sort of has a hollow center, or a dark center. It's like the pupil of an eye looking at you and winking. And the flash is so bright to the star scope that it almost burns your eye.
So he starts saying like there's pieces of it falling off and it's like coming towards them.
Mhm.
But it's interesting to hear because it's like obviously in the 80s and it's like in real time. Like these people are, and like I feel like UFOs weren't like, I mean, at that time, not really like UFOs aren't real, you
Yeah.
know? So the team reported a pulsing red light, as we heard, weaving through the trees, appearing to break into smaller orbs and reform. The light hovered, then shot skyward at incredible speed. Beams of light were witnessed shining down from the sky, including one that appeared to target the weapons storage area on the base, an area that, according to some sources, housed nuclear warheads. And also, I don't know if you can hear it on the recording, but they were saying like how like the animals were kind of like acting up and
Yeah.
then they went dead silent.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, that is creepy.
Yeah.
Don't like that. So, despite the dramatic reports, the British Ministry of Defense dismissed the incident, claiming it posed no threat to national security and therefore required no further investigation. Many found this response suspicious, especially given the credibility of the military witnesses involved. Years later, the MOD's UFO files were declassified, revealing internal memos, sketches, correspondence about the incident, but offering no solid conclusion. And the US government remained virtually silent on the matter. I don't know why they're always like, I don't know what it was.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? So obviously there's theories, and the first one being extraterrestrial contact. Many believe that it was a genuine UFO encounter supported by credible military testimony, physical traces, and audio evidence. Peniston later claimed the binary code he wrote down translated into coordinates pointing to mythical or ancient locations around the world. Skeptics argue that lights were misidentified beams from the Orford Ness Lighthouse visible from the forest, but this doesn't explain the physical evidence, craft descriptions, or binary message. Which I feel like there was a lot of physical evidence.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Just ask the cows.
Just ask the cows, man. Another theory is that some people think it's like a covert military operation, a psychological test or experimental aircraft, possibly involving advanced NATO technology. I don't know if I said that right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then others believe witnesses were influenced by fatigue, stress, or environmental effects that altered their perception, which that is just a stupid theory.
I
I'm
was just going to say,
that.
of course they blame them.
Yeah, that's always a theory
Yeah.
with these things. You're like,
You
what?
guys just didn't know what you were seeing.
You're just stressed out. You just saw a UFO. Like, come on, man.
Gaslighting.
Yeah. So we're going to go back to the witnesses. Jim Peniston So he's the one that claimed direct contact and the psychic data download. And he later underwent regression hypnosis to recall more details. So he did this in 1994, 14 years after the incident. The session was conducted to help him retrieve memories that might have been repressed or blurred due to traumatic nature of the encounter. So under hypnosis, he said the craft he touched in Rendlesham Forest was not extraterrestrial, but from the future. He described the occupants as humans from a distant future timeline who had evolved to the state where they could no longer survive without the help from the past. These future humans were apparently returning to our timeline to collect DNA to sustain or repair their own people. And then there's like a quote where the hypnotist is asking him, like, who are they? And he's like, they're us. They're from the future. He also reiterated under hypnosis about receiving the telepathic download of the binary code. So he wrote down the code in his notebook the day after the event, but kept it secret for over 30 years, revealing it publicly in 2010. A team of code breakers, and they mention Linda Moulton Howe, later claimed the binary translated to coordinates of powerful ancient sites such as the Great Pyramid of Giza, Nazca Lines in Peru, Sedona, Arizona, Temple of Apollo in Greece, Taishan Mountain in China, and Hai, Brazil, which I might have not said that right, but it's HY-Brazil, which is a legendary phantom island west of Ireland. These locations sparked theories of ancient alien connections or energy grid sites. So, a little out there, but I don't want to discredit what he believes he saw.
Mm-hmm.
But under hypnosis, things can get a little blurry too.
Yeah.
Like memory with imagination.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind. It doesn't mean his experience wasn't like accurate, but it could be like a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
He also hinted during the session that his memory had been tampered with or blocked, possibly by military or non-human entities. There's a theme throughout his hypnosis of frustration at not being allowed to remember more. So that's it for Jim Peniston. And then John Burroughs. He developed serious health issues in the years after, believed to be linked to the radiation exposure. The U.S. government ultimately granted him veterans benefits after years of legal battles, which is messed up.
Yeah.
And then Charles Hall, he maintains that what he witnessed was not of this earth and accuses both the UK and the U.S. governments of a cover-up. So the Rendlesham Forest incident remains one of the best documented UFO encounters in military history. And a UFO trail now exists in the forest, complete with signs outlining the events and locations. So if you ever want to go, you can. But yeah, that was it.
Well, I'm down to go to the UK. Sounds like it might be some hiking involved.
Yeah. My sister's actually going in September, so I'm going to send her this. Like, you guys should go.
Oh, I feel like she'd like that, actually.
Yeah, I think she would too. And her friend that she's going with, I think, would too. So
very cool.
Maybe I'll send them there and they can report back.
Yeah, I never heard about that one, so that was cool.
Thanks. I know, I actually never did either. I was just Googling random stuff because I was like, I did a haunting the last couple stories. I want to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to look up something that wasn't like, I mean, this is probably well known. I just never heard of it. But
No,
yeah.
I get that way too, where it's just like you're like the last one I did. Like I want to do something like different.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool.
Switching it up.
And
Aliens.
It's fun looking up new stuff.
Yeah.
Who cares if other people know it? You didn't, and I didn't either. And this is our podcast.
I told myself something and I told you something. Okay, cool. Well, do you want to take a quick break?
Let's take a break.
Okay, and we are back.
We are back. And before I get into my story, I would like to redeem myself. And I have a book report.
I'm excited to hear this.
These are facts that I looked up about Stephen King.
The king of horror.
The king of horror. And I was texting Tayler all of the facts that I found out about him after the absolutely idiotic claim that I made. So, Stephen King is a prolific author. He has published over 65 novels, as well as approximately 200 short stories with more than 350 million copies sold worldwide.
Damn.
Yeah. So, also not dead. He is 6'4".
He's not dead. He's 6'4".
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that was important.
It just sounded funny together.
He has diverse genres. While he is famous for horror, he has also written in other genres, including suspense, crime, science fiction, fantasy, and mystery.
Heck yeah.
He also published several early novels under the pseudonym Richard Bachman to test whether his fame was due to talent or luck.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Cool. I know more than you do.
You do.
Thanks.
I didn't know he was
Just
6'4" either.
My book report is so good.
I literally didn't know anything except that he was alive.
He also suffers from, I'm going to really mess up this name, but triskaidekaphobia, which is the fear of the number 13.
Isn't that your favorite number?
That's my favorite number.
I don't know why, but I love that.
I'm obsessed with the number 13. It shows up in like so many. Sorry, I love like numbers and stuff. And 13 is like one that like shows up all the time for me.
Mm-hmm.
Got married on Friday the 13th. Like,
it's like your lucky number.
it's always been my lucky number, and it's because it's my mom's birthday. But
love that.
yeah.
And so Stephen King's afraid of your lucky number.
I know. I feel like
so you instill fear in Stephen King.
I'm the queen of horror.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Respect to the king.
Yeah, we love him.
Yeah. I'm really trying to make up for how bad I disrespected him last time. So he also is a music enthusiast, and he plays rhythm guitar in a band called the Rock Bottom Remainders, which is a charity group composed of other authors.
That's so cool.
I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he has obviously had a large impact on literature and popular culture. I also sent Tayler that I think I mentioned this in the last episode when we were talking about The Shining. Mm-hmm. It's the Timberline Lodge at Mount Hood, which is actually in Oregon, not Washington. So again, idiot me.
I wouldn't have known.
But still, just more misfacts that I shared. But Timberline Lodge is where The Shining exterior shots were shot, and I went there and I visited the room. What was it, 217?
Yes.
Yeah, and I have a picture outside of it.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
wait, so because I barely remember the movie, you said that one's the exterior shots, but the Stanley's the interior
shots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that is me trying to make up for my fumbles last week.
Cue the round of applause.
Thank you. All right. I will go into my story now. Tayler, I've got something to tell you. And we haven't covered a cult yet. So today I'm diving into our first cult.
Yay. So that's funny because that was on my mind.
Really?
Like cults. I don't know why. Because I was like, I wonder if she's going to cover some. I'm not just saying that. Like I was literally thinking about that like last week.
You're so intuitive.
We're just in tune with each other.
Well, and your story took place in the 80s and my story is taking place in the 80s.
Love that.
I know. We're connected. Okay, so I watched a documentary years ago, and I remember texting Kyle and being like, if I were to fall for joining a cult, it probably would have been this one.
I think I remember you telling me that.
Okay. This is like when I lived alone. So this was literally like over maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I've been wanting to do this. It's not like gory or anything. It's going to be a little bit lighter, but it still is like, oof.
Yeah.
Rough. So there's no Kool-Aid. There's no compound with like people in, you know, robes or whatnot. This one looked like a bougie self-help retreat in the California sun. It starts with yoga, meditation, and community, and ends with brainwashing, spiritual manipulation, and ballet.
I would fall for that immediately.
Yeah, I feel like
without the ballet. I don't know about that.
There's so much in this where I'm just like, we would fully do this. But so I am going to tell you about the cult where you got to be tan, tight to see the light, Buddhafield.
Wow. Tell me more.
All right. So it's the early 1980s and we're in West Hollywood. And let's be honest, everyone is sweating in their pastel spandex. They're drinking wheatgrass and they are really soul searching for what's next in their life. This was kind of like a weird time when people were stepping away from organized religion and getting super into things like yoga, meditation, and Eastern philosophy. And when I say weird, it's just like it's not as like well received as it is now.
At that time.
Exactly. Yeah. So you've got people talking about ego death over brunch and inviting you to do breathwork ceremonies in their basements.
That sounds like the place for me.
I know. But a lot of people during this time were very vulnerable. This was also the time in the 80s of Reagan coming into office, and he was pushing his like good American family narrative that was super dismissive of anyone who didn't fit that mold. Mm-hmm. So again, also the time at the height of the AIDS crisis. And if you know anything about Reagan and AIDS, he was definitely ignoring that and refusing to do any action on it, and it was actively being ignored. So if you were gay or didn't fit into this narrative of this like quintessential family structure, you were basically on like the fringe of society. So people are like, the system doesn't care about me. I want to feel something. I want healing. I want community, where I'm not getting that from like quote unquote regular society.
Yeah.
Regular
status quo.
Yeah, exactly. So cue a friend you trust in your fringe group saying, hey, there's this group that does meditation in someone's living room. It's really chill. You should come.
Sold.
Yep. You're down. And listen, I've gone to more haunted places with Tayler, so I totally get the idea of a friend who was like, it'll be fun.
So, we would do that to each other on accident.
So obviously people start showing up to these like meditation meetups. And they aren't flashy. It's just like pillows, a little vibe, maybe a crystal or two. But there was definitely somebody in charge and a guy at the front of the room. And he was quiet, calm.
Not a man.
Oh, not a man.
Gotta ruin everything.
He also wears sunglasses inside.
Oh no.
I know. I mean, it's the 80s though, so.
True.
So he introduces himself as Michel, Michel, and it is pronounced Michel. So kind of like French Michael.
Oh, like Gilmore Girls. His name's Michel.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and he's French.
Oh, cool. He's not this guy.
Okay. Dang it.
However, later people would just call him the teacher. So at first he seemed like the real deal. He was soft-spoken, always composed, and he kind of dressed like for the time like a walking Lululemon ad before it existed.
Cool.
So he would guide meditations, talk about higher consciousness, the path to enlightenment, but he never claimed to be a prophet, which I feel like was kind of a manipulation tactic. Mm-hmm. He was always very humble in a way where it was like, I'm humble, but I know something more than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let me teach you.
Yeah. I'm humble, but also let me mansplain.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically what he was doing.
Yeah. So he's just a teacher. He's just here to help you evolve.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So people showed up, they brought their friends. It became this like tight-knit little community that had formed. And in the beginning, it felt really good. And Will Allen, who we're going to talk about a lot, think of him as like our guy on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to come up throughout the story. So remember Will Allen. And he went to film school. And he always like he talks about like his life growing up, and he always kind of felt like he was searching for something more. Mm-hmm. And so he got his creativity out throughout film.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to film school and he graduates, and he's still just kind of feeling like he is searching for something beyond what he was able to learn just in school. Like mm-hmm. he's like, I can't just do this like 9-to-5 job. Like I can't just work and then die.
Yeah.
So
totally relatable.
Yeah. And so he joins the group and he brings his camera with him. Also, one thing with him is, and you'll find this with a lot of people within the group, is after he graduated college, he came out as gay to his family and they immediately kicked him out. So like he was looking for a community to accept him. And this is a key part of like why a lot of people joined this is like mm-hmm. they were looking for others that had maybe been unfairly rejected in their lives and for finding acceptance for them. Because they shouldn't feel this like stigma around them. Mm-hmm. And so again, that's going to come up a lot.
But I think we talked about this before when we were talking about like the cult documentaries. It's just like, it's always the vulnerable people, which makes it so much more sad is because they are looking for people to like kind of accept them and then they get stuck in that.
Yeah, they definitely have. It's definitely like predator vibes. They know mm-hmm. who they're going after.
Yeah. Don't like that.
But again, remember the name Will Allen because he's our inside look and he will come up a lot in this story. But he was a part of the group from basically the beginning. And he had said that the first time that he joined the group, he felt like he truly belonged, like he had found his people and like he could finally exhale. Exhale. Thank you. But then came the shift. The vibe changed gradually. First, it went from once a week meditations to these like intense silent retreats with the group that lasted days and sometimes up to 2 weeks. Mm-mm. Then the casual community energy became strict and more disciplinary, like they had a lot more rules. Michel, now only going by the teacher, became more aloof, more mysterious, more guru-y.
Here we go.
Yup. He never yelled and he never punished. That wasn't really his style. But he showed appreciation if you pleased him in like really small ways. So he would smile or maybe like gently touch your shoulder or just like give you a kind word. But like it was like what do they call it? Like love crumbs, like barely showing you any affection. So like when you got that small affection, it meant the world to you.
Yeah.
But if you messed up, if you questioned him, he wouldn't even acknowledge you.
Aww.
Yeah. And Will said that silence, that cold shoulder that he would give you, that withdrawal was way worse than being screamed at. It's like when your parents are like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. And you're like, stab in the gut.
And I think for like a people pleaser, which I feel like a lot of people that are probably in those already are, it's like to the heart.
Yeah. And they're just not only are they people pleasers, they're looking for acceptance from somebody and they're looking at him to get that acceptance from. Mm-hmm. So they've already been like almost dismissed by the people that mean the most in their life. So they're looking for him to like fill that void and he's like taking away that from them.
Like taking advantage of it or weaponizing it.
Exactly. Weaponizing it. So everyone was obsessed with pleasing Michel. People lived and breathed for his approval. There was this one guy, he went up to Michel and he was like, I just want to thank you. Like, what can I do to show you that I'm thankful for you? And Michel was like, you can make me a fruit salad. So this guy would go out and buy what he described as like the most beautiful fruits he could possibly find.
Mhm.
And he would spend hours curating these fruit salads that were like works of art. Like he would carve like Buddhas into
Oh, wow.
papayas, and like they would be like landscapes of mountains made from like
Mhm.
fruit. And he would deliver them to Michel every morning. And even though he knew Michel wasn't eating them, he still was like, it meant so much to me to be able to like serve him something.
Do that for him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So Michel had the devotion pretty much locked in. And so now he starts implementing the rules. First, people had to give up sex. Celibacy was required unless it was part of a sacred, spiritual energy exchange. And spoiler, that did not apply to everyone.
Of course, I'm sure it only applied to Michel.
Sure did. Michel said that desire was ego was bad, and celibacy was the path to higher consciousness. So people listened. Will Allen remembered how Michel would frame it. He would say, true love is free from attachment. Desire chains you down. So it wasn't just about sex, though. It was emotional control. Michel had to approve who you dated and considered relationships distractions, and that loyalty to him came first.
Ew.
Then came the image obsession. Michel wanted his followers to be beautiful, youthful, radiant. He discouraged aging in any way, and that it was a moral failure.
Discouraged.
Yeah,
Don't get old.
absolutely not.
How dare you get a
Stop
wrinkle?
living. So there were group spa trips, Botox fillers, and colonics to lose weight that were all required. Everyone had to look elevated, and Will Allen called this experience a spiritual grooming.
With Botox and filler.
Yeah. Again, Michel never commanded. He just dropped very passive-aggressive hints. So he would be like, your energy feels low today. You're not glowing like you did last week. Like putting people down. Like if you're going to get a comment from him, that was the only comment that you got.
Jeez.
Yeah. And because everyone was so desperate for his approval, they adjusted. They did diets, workouts, surgery, whatever it took to like walk past him the next day and be like, see?
I like how it's like he's saying like to detach from ego, but that's like the most egotistic thing ever.
For real. It's like looks are like the number one ego fuel.
Yeah.
So this started to become this like following of perfection and subtle, quiet control. But in the middle of everything, Michel suddenly says, we need to leave Los Angeles. There's too many distractions and too much ego.
Okay.
People are getting too young around here. It's hard to keep up.
He's like, it's not the Botox or the fillers, it's LA.
Yeah. So people followed. And now it's the mid 80s and the group is full on nomadic. So their first stop is Austin. Then they move to New Mexico. And then they finally land in Hawaii. Excuse me. Gross. So each move was framed as spiritual. The idea was to go further from ego, deeper into the work. And however, some people suspected, and this is where like cracks start showing, that Michel might have been running. So either from like questions that were popping up around like the communities that they would move to, or from like the scrutiny that they might be facing. Like people were definitely talking about this like group that was moving around different cities, and cult rumors were swarming.
So he was trying to get away from those.
Exactly. And also that possibly he was trying to escape from a past, which we will get there. So now they've landed in Hawaii, and from the outside, it looks like paradise. They have 100 hot people in yoga pants, meditating under palm trees and doing group cleanses. They were toned, tanned, and constantly smiling. This is basically a spiritual Instagram feed. So Michel wasn't just a spiritual leader, he fancied himself a choreographer. So the group was required to rehearse elaborate ballet performances, like full productions with costumes, lighting, music, and everything.
Random.
Well, he was formerly a dancer.
Okay.
Yeah. So makes sense, but he would like force it onto them. They're like, I don't want to dig any more holes, Grandpa.
He's like, you must. Wait, what's it called when they spin? Puree? Something?
Pirouette.
Pirouette. Pirouette, bitches.
Spin, sucker.
Spin.
But so he has these like full-on productions that he's choreographing and directing, and Will Allen is filming all of it. So it's a ton of like tanned spiritual devotees and glittering unitards twirling for the enlightenment of the single man who's just not blinking, watching them the whole time.
That sounds wild.
He's nuts. And these weren't for the public, though. They were literally just for Michel. He was the only one in the audience. He'd sit there, front row, legs crossed, judging their plie like it was a test.
Damn.
Also, if you were chosen to dance, it was a compliment. So, like, people took this as, like, you were, like, elevated. You were chosen one.
Wow.
So if you weren't picked, better check your aura, babe. Something's off. So the ballet became a tool of control because in Buddhafield, everything was performance and Michel was always the director. So all of this is going on and Will Allen, again, is filming everything. Very important to note. Michel said it was to capture the evolution of Buddhafield, but Will was starting to notice cracks. Michel was controlling everything, where everyone lived, what they ate, what they wore, who they spoke to, who they dated, and obviously what they believed. So it wasn't just isolation, he was surveilling them.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to dive a little bit more into the silent retreats because those are wild and these things were hell. I know I talked about that they could last for like weeks, but the followers would sit for over 10 hours a day in absolute silence, like no talking, no eye contact, and they weren't allowed to eat. Michel would sit cross-legged at the front of everyone, and he would meditate with his eyes wide open. And
keeping an eye on everything?
No, literally people would say like if you breathed weird, he would like shift and like look directly at you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But like did not blink.
Ew.
So Will Allen said it was just like being stared down by a spiritual gargoyle.
Oh my God. That is spooky.
I know. The message on these retreats was detach from your body, transcend your ego, obey Michel.
Wait, what was that?
Detach from your body, transcend your ego, and obey Michel.
Those were the rules?
That was like the message.
Oh.
I think it went like without being said, but it was definitely like, you knew those were the rules.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go into where it gets even more unhinged. Michel starts telling a select few that they're ready for something sacred, and this is a rite of passage, and it is called the knowing. So Michel said that the knowing was a direct experience of God, which I think was interesting to me because this group like seemed to go against like religion, but then it takes a shift into like very devout religion. So anyways, so the knowing is this direct experience of God and you would see the divine, but you had to be spiritually pure and you had to earn it. It was exclusive, secretive, and mysterious and only held for like the top tier of the followers. Will Allen, who was in the group for over 22 years, never got it.
22 years?
22 years. And he was told that you're close, but not ready for the knowing.
Hmm.
So what I think is that Michel, because they talk about this in like some of the documentaries and like I'm going to call them survivor stories of like people who escaped it, is that I think he picked on the people who were more easily manipulated, because I think Will Allen was probably too smart.
Mm-hmm.
And he just picked the people who he's like, you're ready for it. And then they'd be like, I have this like transcendence experience and like stuff like that.
So I feel like you could tell somebody, especially them, because they're already in that state of mind, like, you had this experience.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, I did.
Yeah.
Whereas someone else would be like, nothing happened.
Exactly. And so like he needed to know that he could like not trust the people, but put that thought into their mind and that they would actually believe it and like sell his story.
Mm-hmm.
So people are so desperate for this experience. The knowing was like the ultimate badge of honor. People bent over backward for Michel just to be even considered for it. And for the ones who did receive it, they basically described it like an acid trip. They could hear colors, see sounds, and had a high euphoric experience. But again, it was very restricted to the chosen selected few by Michel, were considered his favorites. And for the record, Michel did have favorites who were especially young, attractive men.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. This leads us into the darker part of the story, because eventually it came out that Michel had a history. So remember Will Allen, our guy on the inside? He had been filming everything for 2 decades and had literally thousands of footage. And Michel loved being filmed. So it wasn't like a question if Will showed up with the camera. Like he would be like outside, like there were like clips of him like outside his door, and like Michel would just walk out and like do a little pose for the camera. Like he loved it and would ham it up for the camera. But this is kind of creepy in hindsight because, buddy, this footage does not age well for you. Eventually, again, after 22 years, Will left Buddhafield and he took these films with him. In 2016, he released a documentary called Holy Hell. And this is the documentary I brought up at the beginning that I watched, and it is fascinating. But it was like someone had dropped a spiritual nuke on the wellness community. So turns out Michel, who once said he had no past, only the present, very much had a past. His real name was Jamie Gomez, and before Buddhafield, he'd been a small-time actor who had performed in 1980s gay porn films under the name Andreas.
Wow.
He'd also been a ballet dancer and an aspiring guru with a string of failed ventures. I don't know about you, but I'm putting aspiring guru on my resume.
I kind of love that.
Yeah. I love that he can just call himself that.
I'm an aspiring guru.
I'm aspiring. The most disturbing part is, remember when they moved abruptly from Austin? So Michel had been accused of sexually assaulting multiple male members of the group during their time in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those men, who I'm not going to name, but are featured in Holy Hell, finally came forward after the documentary aired. They said Michel used his spiritual authority to manipulate and violate them. He framed this as that energy exchange and as part of their spiritual growth.
Mm.
One man said Michel told him, "This is how you'll release your ego." And these weren't one-off incidents. These were patterns. Men who were loyal, vulnerable, and often celibate because of Michel's teachings would become isolated. And this is when Michel would invite them for private healing sessions. And also he would do, retro therapy?
Retro? I don't know what that is.
Like when you would go back in your past lives.
Oh, regression.
Regression therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So he would do regression therapy with them. And he would also do these like almost like therapy sessions with them one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
And then after those sessions, that's when he would assault them. So he would assault them when they were like their most emotionally raw and like at their most vulnerable because they're trusting him because they just opened up to him about like their like deepest, darkest secrets.
So gross.
It's disgusting. They were told that this was part of their path and that this would bring them closer to enlightenment. So the closer that they got to Michel, the closer that they got to like
in quotations, enlightenment.
So the long-term effects on these followers were devastating. Some of the survivors have spoken about having years of therapy because they had to rebuild trust and reconnect with their own instincts. One man said, "I thought I was chosen, but I was just compliant." And this all stems from Holy Hell coming out. So like after this documentary airs, all of these survivors keep coming forward and telling their own stories about like what they experienced in Buddhafield or like escaping Buddhafield, finally like realizing that this isn't a healthy environment for them.
Mm-hmm.
So another former member described feeling like a shell for months after leaving. They said, "I didn't know what thoughts were mine anymore."
Oh.
Yeah. Because when you're told over and over again that your pain is sacred, that your boundaries are ego, that your trauma is spiritual progress, it rewires everything. And Michel knew that. So while this is all happening, Michel starts using the group's money, like he would have them do donations, pay money for the retreats that he would host, or just like whatever they could give. And it wasn't used for the spiritual growth of the community. He would use it for his own plastic surgery.
Of course he would.
He got laser treatments, Botox, fillers, and eventually full-on cosmetic procedures to preserve his appearance. But he took it to the extreme. He became obsessed with erasing any signs of aging, and over time, his face started to look uncanny.
I gotta see this guy.
I tried to look up pictures of him before and after, and I could not find anything.
Oh.
I know. I don't know why, but maybe I should have just taken a picture of like the screen in the documentary. But do you? I feel bad using this guy as an example, but it's the only thing I can think of to compare him to. Do you know the guy that wanted to be like the real life Ken doll, and he got like tons of plastic surgery?
Was he on Botched?
Might have been on Botched.
I kind of remember that story. I don't know if there's more than one though. So.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah.
But that's basically what he looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So back to the Holy Hell premiere. People are speaking out and this freaks Michel out. So he flees. And first he goes to South America and then later back to Hawaii under a new name, Reiji. And he's still leading a group there.
Oh my God.
I do want to call out because when I looked this up, there is a UK Buddhafield, and it is important to separate the two because I called them.
You called them?
I called the UK one. And like first of all, their phone number doesn't work.
Because it's like UK.
It was just like, yeah. But they do. And the more I like searched their website, at first I was like, oh my God, like he's really taken this to the next level. But then I found an FAQ and I was like, we are not a cult. We are not related to the US Buddhafield cult.
Like, whoopsie.
Yeah, I was like, sorry. So if you're Googling Buddhafield, just know
not UK.
Not UK. All right. We're not trying to throw them under the bus. But yeah, so he never faced any criminal charges.
Wait, to this day, he still has the group?
To this day.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah.
Like, people, watch the documentary.
I know. Well, and he keeps changing his name, so yeah.
Yeah, and who knows? Because, like, not everybody, I mean, I don't think I've ever heard of this documentary, so it's, like, easy to not know who that is.
Yeah. But yeah, so the thing about Buddhafield is it didn't really look like a cult.
Mm-hmm.
There were no doomsday prophecies, no, like I said, no matching robes, unless you count Speedos. However, the control, the psychological and sexual abuse, the silencing of doubt and identity and self, that is cult behavior 101. And Will Allen said it best. After he left, someone asked him how he could stay for so long. And he said, you don't realize you're in prison until the door is wide open and you're still sitting inside.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he's like thriving, especially today with, I feel like spiritualism kind of like came back a little bit.
In a healthy way.
In a healthy way for some. I do still feel like there's like still some. So you know how I went to like the hypnotherapy school? It's a very like spiritual type school. And sorry, not to like sidetrack the story, but not that they're not a cult. Like that where I'm getting at. But I mean like the fact that people like they'll use it to feel above somebody, I feel like. Because I remember starting out, I felt so behind and like I just wasn't getting what they were doing when they're like practicing like meditation and imagining, like when you go into like hypnosis and like you can hear things or you can see things, smell things, whatever. And I was like, I'm not getting any of that. Yeah. Until I was like in the class for a while, I'm like, it's not like you're not actually going to smell something. You're not actually going to, I mean, some people maybe do have like better experiences or not better, but like stronger experiences, but it literally is just your imagination. So I feel like they kind of hype it up to be something like you have to get to this level to be like super spiritual. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
No, 100%.
Okay.
No. And like, again, it's, I mean, you can really say like a lot of things are like culty. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I feel like you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
But again, once it become the manipulation and like, I just feel like so bad. The thing that hit me so hard was when like the people were talking about, like, they were like, I didn't even know what I like believed anymore. I didn't know what thoughts were mine and like what thoughts had been like put in my head. And I was just like, that is probably so devastating, especially for like Will, who lost 22 years of his life to that. And for somebody who's like seeking acceptance to be manipulated in that way.
Yeah.
That's just gross.
Well, it's almost like too, like, you know, like people growing up in like really shitty households, like they grow up with that like wiring of what their parents believe. And it takes them the unwiring as an adult to like move on. But it's like these people are adults and it's like that's happening to them, which is like really sad. I mean, it's sad either way, but you know what I mean? It's like when you're supposed to be able to find those people to help you like unwire.
Exactly. Like I just, well, we could talk about this for a long time. Yeah. But there are people that definitely can be like cling on to your triggers. Like I know I had a friend, you know who I'm talking about, who like would cling on to like the triggers because I'm like the type of person like I can't handle if somebody's mad at me. Like if I know
use it against you.
Yeah. Like, and I'm not like, I'm never saying like that if you're mad at me and you please tell me if I do something wrong. Like I would rather know and I would rather fix it. Like, yeah. But I like, she would almost like use it to like, make me feel like more guilty. And I would be devastated. And then she would like not talk to me for like days. And then
that breaks like trust for a friend because it's just like you just used something I told you that was like really personal against me. Yeah.
But yeah.
Sorry, not to cut you off.
No, like, I should stop talking about that.
No.
Shit, hopefully she doesn't listen.
I hope she does. Fuck you. Just kidding.
Just kidding. We should probably cut that part out. But yeah, so that is the story of Buddhafield. And Tayler, I'm just telling you, I'm going to stand up for when I don't want to go on spooky trips anymore.
Stand up. It's okay.
Well, I hope you liked it as our first intro to cults.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I love cult stories. I mean, I hate that people like fall for it, but I love like hearing about them and reading about them because I find them so interesting. So I'm excited for you to cover more.
Okay. I feel like this was a good like soft intro to one too, because there's some like dark ones that I had on my list that I wanted to do, but I feel like after the cannibal bus, we needed something
We
lighter.
both chose lighter stories
Yeah.
tonight.
A little
So,
palate
you're
cleanser.
welcome. Well, that was good. I loved it.
Thanks. I liked yours too.
Thank you. Thank you all for listening. As always, please rate, review,
Subscribe.
follow us on social media.
IGSTTY pod on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
all the things.
All the things. And then you can send us an email at
IGSTTYstories@gmail.com.
if you want to send us a story or if you just want to chat.
Yeah.
Just send us an email or drop us a comment.
Yeah, we love the comments. So please, please, please comment.
Yeah, the comments are really fun. We like to know who's listening. So, yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for listening.
Thanks. Later.